It has been way too long. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Broadcasting live from the height of my scoliosis because I'm too financially spread thin to practice yoga in my preferred form, which is the Canadian group class. Making this update because I want to have a talk about consequence or their lack thereof, the lack thereof, which is why we're in Nazism. 100 straight years of fucking nonstop Nazism. Never saw such a petrified, terrified fucking lump of useless coal in the history of the universe. We're talking, I'm old. My soul is 54,000 years old. So, sorry, that was revealed to me. That's not my fucking telling. I didn't say my soul is 50 years old. Someone told me that. Someone I trust. With Second Sight. Remember Second Sight? Holy shit, guys, relax. First of all, we had the demolition of the male sexuality by the forbiddance of the prostate G-spot, which is why we started gay bashing in the first place. Sorry, but the persecution was against men, not women. Again, psychological diversity, more in-betweens. Relax, everyone. Relax. Psychological diversity is a blessed and powerful thing. If you take everything as a negotiation, if you consider all viewpoints, you can go in many directions at once. It has nothing to do with good and evil and the fact that you went on an evil spree because you found out in your sick, twisted version of God realization, because you're an occultist, that consequence really doesn't have an effect on the earthly realm. That is exactly what happened, you pieces of shit. You absolutely utter pieces of shit. No, I won't talk facts today because I'm not getting my channel suspended. I am simply asking for a control group. I'm not the only one to have my channel suspended because I asked for a placebo group. Fucking vax 8 million people, my ass, seasonally for the COVID and the flu, like they're two different things with the exact same symptoms, except for one leads to death in the ICU. Ah, fuck, I just got my channel suspended. Damn it. Fuck off. Oh, I can't believe we're living through this. And these people are negotiators. They call themselves negotiators. They call themselves the epitome of negotiation, in fact. Holy Christ, you couldn't negotiate your way out of a fucking ladybug's ass turd. Get pooped on. Get pooped on today. Get pooped on today. My sweet, sacred, spiritual teacher, Sri Chinmoy, and get yours. He's the one. He's the one for this generation. He definitely left us a girth of poetic influence. He tells me, number one, my dreams are worth it and not to give up, even though I'm going to have an ageist debate at some point. And he tells me, number two, oh, I forgot. Dang. So, this lack of consequence. I just don't know why. Mass plus deranged plus ego-stricken plus fear-ridden plus megalomaniacal had to wed in this fashion. But this is the problem we're dealing with. And I am not going to, excuse me, I had salad today. I'm not going to give up on number one, the poverty stricken, and number two, the blues, Generation Blue. It goes boomers, Gen X, shimmer, shake, and zoom, love, then blue. We're igniting that many generations right now. We're beginning brand new generations right now. That is a cosmic process. It is a rite of passage to learn how to manipulate that and manage it. And I don't mean manipulation in the way that you fuckers pull it off. Oh, there's so many people out there that are so manipulative. And we don't do anything to them. We don't subdue them psychologically, which is what we should be doing. You're a fucking manipulative megalomaniac. Can you fuck off? Excuse my French today. It's been too long and I've got too much pent up. Dun, 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 dun. Look, it's the 21 Pilots dragon. There he is. TWP. Exactly. 21 Pilots. Put them in the fucking front and center. And let's help them get a few other celebrities together so we can hold down this fort and stop this kind of bullshit. I think we're all sick of the fucking mental illness in kids. Anyway, my role in this thing is to write. And it's to write a few things. Number one, something that is going to guarantee to enhance the IQ of babies and young children. Number two, something that is bound to inspire the teenagers to something more, perhaps even celibacy for a while. Number three, I am going to argue the validity of my limitless economy theory. Again, with digital currency and private wallets, calm down, everyone. People just make their interactions directly. No Moneris, no Google Cloud version of every transaction you make. You don't need it. Transactions can be opened up by subpoena. They can be opened up by warrant. Oh my God, perchance the children would give you fucking errant, indignified court system fucking zealots. You're zealots. You cling to those positions like holy shit. Look at that. You're killing the heart. Just look at it. Whing, whing. Follow my lead. I'm going to see if you drop. Give me a motherfucking breathalyzer, you dick. Get out of my face. Whing, whing, whing. Give me a motherfucking breathalyzer, dick. Get out of my face. What in the fuck are you doing giving all those field sobriety tests? Wasting people's time and money. Breathwise, 2.68. Perfect. May nobody drink and drive tonight. I don't think you blues are going to be up to that. Like, I don't think the amount of people that fell into cartelism, that fell into trafficking, that fell into corruption, that fell into this disgusting tendency of our public servants to make themselves millionaires while in office. The public sector is making themselves millionaires while in office. In droves. At the expense of everyone. Yeah, I want my fucking tax break, you dicks. Take the fucking tax off my shit for 2 weeks. 8 weeks equals 1 week of groceries. Everyone is getting 1 week of free groceries. Fuck everyone. The amount of fucking fees we pay, the amount of taxes we pay, the paper bag fees. Good God, man. Start growing hemp. Why wouldn't you grow hemp? It perfectly matches our growing season. There's tons of space for it. It is absolutely beneficial to you fucking aliens who absolutely must scarf oxygen. The shit farts oxygen. It is the perfect balance for this methane argument. And I'm going to fucking stand by that meme that says, stupid fucking you. That methane, I'll sit in a garage with a cow for a night. And you sit in the garage with a car for a night. There, by Bill Gates. There's never going to be another fucking dick like that. These guys gotta go. They're definitely genocidal. They're definitely megalomaniacal. They're definitely hogging airspace. They've definitely committed forced coercive vaccinations. They coerced and forced in every way possible. Subtle manipulations, false data. Let's start there because that's coercion, bitch. I'm not going to go any further into my coercion point. I was put in cuffs and a fucking fiend jabbed me with 2 of them in a row. I got the second and third shot, once given in November 21, next one May 22, together. They put them in me together just to get that shit in my system. And of course, erecting 5G towers and getting the little receivers up so this thing can be sustained. But it is on our psychic dimension. We're 27 dimensional beings, my God. We cultivate 0 of them, 3 max. It's embarrassing, and I want better for the kids, and I'm not going anywhere, and I am going to survive that kind of trauma. Okay, I'm just this person, and you felt the need to fucking control me and subdue me. Sorry, I mourn the loss of Gordy when I am the biggest muse in history. I transcend property loss to do so. I literally felt safe in the man's premises. I can't take that away. There's no not feeling safe on Gordy's property. Who inspired that entire thing? Gordy. He was a visionary. He preserved the creative process to pass it on to a new generation. They ran with it. Look at Eminem. My condolences, sir. I love you. But he preserved the creative process and showed how it was possible to create all sorts of unique and interesting new things. Again, it's about project. We can see if we just keep running this hysterical anti-masterpiece where everybody is neurotic as shit, vomit everywhere, drug use, poverty. It's a generations-long problem, era-long problem, eras, and we can easily eradicate it in 1 generation just by putting them to work, curing itself. Poverty cures itself. Can that be a motto? Nike, poverty cures itself. You're the only fucking slogan out of all those years of slogans that any of us remember. Deal with it. I'm not sure why, but we don't remember slogans. Again, we were bombarded with these slogans. We don't remember any of them. Not one of them had an impact on us. We've had to endure all of this shit that has no impact. That is the goal of Nazism. Be that which thou has no impact. Just incredible lunacy. Incredible lunacy, kids. I have to warn you. Looking at recent history, which we'll make sure you do. We'll make fucking sure you do, and I don't give a fuck. You're not whitewashing shit. You're not whitewashing shit. We've got 15 years to figure out the fucking rhetoric of the covoid. We can take the next 15 years and go through everything. Go fuck yourself. United Nations, wake up. Why'd you do that? You were the fucking origin of negotiation as the standard. We could have had everything taken care of. I could have led it myself since I was 8. 8. No. You're going to get jumped and harassed and pumped full of shit and incarcerated. You're going to have your freedoms and limitations. No, there is an argument in our current society that people on the fringe are often targeted by the psychiatric profession so they can fill beds. Regionally based hospital oriented GDP. Yeah, we get it. It's disgusting. What really happened when the covoid strike struck is they put a bunch of private people that go to the houses of people privately. They are not ambulance certified. They are simply drug pushers. They try and meet you where you're at, and they were literally planning it out in the scientific journal to manifest periodically based on what they deemed to be substantially convincing timeline for outbreaks. Again, the timeline for outbreaks exactly matches the timeline that these pricks would need to get their job done, which is implementing a hospital-based GDP globally that's replicating regionally. Terrorized population 101. Whether you like it or not, we're having a placebo group. We have pockets of placebo groups everywhere. It's time to unify. We have pockets of poverty-stricken everywhere. It's time to unify. We have pockets of blue-collar brilliance everywhere. Don't desert us. It's time to unify. We need each other. It's easy. There's millions of us. Just say no. Remember, just say no? You don't even remember what it's for. Just say no. We'll reinvent it here today. Just say no. Hell no. Fuck you, placebo. And I ain't no savage, so don't fuck with me. I'll put my 5G in me. I'll participate in this bullshit if I want. I got my 5G chip, you piece of shit. I can tell a goddamn difference in my intuition. I can tell a goddamn difference in my intuition. Bingo. I'm sorry. Feels good to rant for once. I've had a lot of pressure lately. And it's all anti-pressure because it's not my life's destiny. I am simply... You think I learned one lesson being persecuted like that? You don't learn lessons through the exposure to suffering. Again, you're going to call it evil, you're going to call it giant, you're going to call it just megalithical or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to call it a pain in the ass, number one. And number two, I'm going to call it absolutely redundant, of course, and put on me. It was retaliation. Retaliation. There's nothing fucking pleasant about it. There's nothing you can grow from it. All you can do is say, I must have fucked up in a past life, and I am sorry for any mistakes I've made in this life. I will walk through this like Charles Manson, remembering Charles Manson. 23 years in a set of cuffs, attached to his waist, in a room just like this. A pit, frigid every night, covered in mildew and wetness, rats eating at him. Fuck that. A schizophrenic who had a conversation and found out a murder took place. At best, it's 25 years, which is crazy. You're all fucked. It's easy to rehabilitate. 25 years for not calling 911. I didn't call 911. We don't call 911. Some of us do not. You guys are inept. You refuse to admit that this is a vibrational reality. And we can easily counter frequencies and understand frequencies and develop frequencies. Masterpiece. We're masterpiece bound. Again, nobody in the universe is convinced to waste the opportunity of this place to watch the heyday of Satan go down. There's no Satan, you dumbasses. Self-inflicted nonsense. Sorry, you're dumbasses. There's a whole slew of dumbasses right now with full potential. And the thing is people are coming in droves that will not make the same choices as you. People are coming in droves. They're very young right now, babies, that choose love. It's not a battle of good and evil. It is a conscious choice of surrender. Surrender to your soul's purpose. Intuition. Get your inklings. Make your choices. Build something. Build anything. Again, I don't have to worry about Generation Blue. They are good. So is Generation Love. Again, I'm not calling them the millennials. I just don't want to ever see another millennial cop. Gross. Not cool. You need to do better. You need to get out there and get these fucking Nazis. Shut up. Leave the skies alone. The only reason they're injecting oxygen into the ionosphere. They're dumping there is no nuclear. It's oxygen harvesting. They pull these huge chunks of lake water out, take a fucking oxygen molecule off it, and from that oxygen molecule, recreate the H2O, recreate water, which they then disperse into the ionosphere because they are creating a world where they can live. Oxygen in the ionosphere. That is the space race. It is ridiculous. They are either creating banks of it where some nearby star people are using it because they ran out for the sake of their lives because they have been exiled somehow, or they're just trying to create a world where they can live without physical limitation. Again, physical limitation is the glue that holds the whole thing together, and it is the one thing we have to deal with to have limitless progress, limitless creativity, limitless good cheer. It's limitless. The good cheer we could be having. Look at the lines on my face. They literally had songs written about them. I care so much about you. I have a special message. I'm a special soul. I'm the Jarnacola Rose, and there's 13 million soul birds represented in an army of pure light. There is no other army. Just we need to take Sri Chinmoy's art and make a huge exhibition so people can walk through the originals and bask in that light. So they find your soul bird. That is my challenge to you. Find your soul bird. I already know I'm the Jarnacola Rose. He conceived the Jarnacola Rose the night I was conceived. I was the first soul bird. It's not a big deal. But with it comes his recognition of the quality of my soul. He saw that coming. He saw one woman that would take it and shut it down, which I have, which I did. To prophecy. There was a lot of motherfuckers that prophesied Gordon me, not just a few. That's why every other Hollywood true love story is the fucking big thing, but never can Sarah Newton have gone through what she went through. Because you know the genetic codes that I was meant to hold, and you took them. The first second you got, you took them. Oh God, the way you came at me in cuffs and just demanded my DNA over and over again. Just disgusting fucking vultures for purity at the same time as trying to destroy purity. Like, I can't stand you, Nazis. Bye. You're dead. This is for the fucking kids. You're gonna die. Everybody does. Oh no. I know. You were stretching time. You were trying to isolate people. You were taking over their fucking assets. And you were trying to live forever in consciousness. In the earth. And when you can, you're trying to build your bubble in the ionosphere. Like, why are you so anti-human? Are you human or not? We're sick of it. We're going to be negotiating with you face to face. Again, I'm not going anywhere. You ages can fuck right off. Age can fuck right off. Age does not exist. It's Gregorian, which is fucking disruptive. It does not acknowledge the spiral of dust that we call our earthly realm. This projection of, it's a projection. It's a beautiful sea of perception. So lovely, so limitless. And as we grow, the species grow around us. It's magnificent. I know YouTube, you want this down real bad. No one will probably get to see it, and all my effort will be wasted because you throw another fucking tantrum, and I'll never even be able to access the footage again. Why don't you just leave me alone and let me speak for a bit? Roseanne Barr gets to say whatever the fuck she wants. Do you see me, lover? I still do. Anyway, I'm not going to go and pick a political party and have religion in the same conversation. I can't. That is where I draw the line. But I get where it comes from because it's been certainly bred in with every bit of science you were ever exposed to. I'm still glad I came. As much as I want to leave and never come back because I'm so traumatized through this period, I'm still glad I came. Fuck you, Daddy. I kicked your ass. I kicked your ass, Daddy. Don't tell me it didn't happen there, Bill Gates. Ew. Microsoft had my whole 3 machines. Like, they hacked into all of it. It was disgusting. Okay, oh God, what I lived through. But I prevailed. And what it was 150,000 or 75,000 logical equations that no one could solve. And I solved them in a streak. And I got perfect on it. I got perfect and you lost every round. And I did it in a streak. An OVO streak. You bitches are getting carded today. Come on, for the collective, for the God forbid we, us, ours. How do you identify? Ageless, we, us, ours. Now fuck off. Nobody even invites me to the table. That is for you, honey. Mm-hmm. This is Emmy. Look at him. What a beautiful soul. I can't get over the beauty of his soul, even though I'm still madly in love with Gord. Look at him. Pray for him today. Give him a big hug. Stupid dumbass. Apologize to the women. Fucking accuse us of being nothing but money grubbing cocksuckers. I doubt I could suck cock if I tried. Just joking. Someone like me who sold it pretty much. Oh, because it was so bad when I had it. And then go out. As per Eminem, he just said this. Go out next and give it to 6 people in your lives. The same kind of fellowship you give him. Yep, that's what he just said. All right, for everyone. Come on. Everybody wins. Look, Page of Pentacles. That's us. Androgynous winners. Yay. Kill it off. There he is. There he is. Fucking backs. There he is. Peddler, sky burner, water harvester, terrorist. There is no nuclear. It's terrorism. They have to transport the fucking stripped down oxygen molecule. If they're gonna secretly up in the goddamn Great Canadian Shield telling us we give a shit about the Indians, which we don't. Mongolians, remember. Nobody gives a shit about the Indians. They have been perfectly assimilated. Sitting there fucking saying thank you to the Indian land. Are you kidding? Are kidding again? I'm calling them the Indians because I wanted to acknowledge that they're the Mongolians. There's nothing wrong with that. If we could get to the root of that issue, this little prick could disappear. There he is, Baron Samedi. Yeah, it's him. Let's acknowledge this prick's presence. He exists because you feed him. He just exists on the fucking tension. It causes neurotension. Baron Samedi comes to the day. Let's look him up. Do you want to look him up? I forget this dude, but I learned about him a long time ago. No way. Baron Samedi is a voodoo figure with which Mr. Big in the James Bond series has chosen to identify himself with. Absolutely not villainous, though he can be outrageous, disruptive, and demonstrative. A filthy sense of humor. Oh yeah, he's Master of the Dead, I remember. Associated with death, darkness, and trickery. Told ya. But beneath that, above it, is the Page of Pentacles, the opposite, which is if we're all, okay, Pentacles means wealth, and Pages means happy-go-lucky youth. Like I said, don't get panicked over the sexuality. It turned out it was a fiery skeletal dust thing. There was a dust thing there. Again, it's not gendered. Baron Samedi in that reading was not gendered. There was no sexual organs on it either. There was no brain in the head, no heart in the chest. It is a vital energy. You do understand these things, they run like wildfire. I'm so glad to be on here today. Missed you guys so much. And I'm only trying to whisper because walls are thin sometimes. That was so disabling. Again, people, I am disabled. Yep, for now, until I get through this trauma. If you could understand being happy-go-lucky. Now, I will grant you, I was a chronic marijuana user. But chronic marijuana users do not get impaired. Their perceptions don't change. Their perspectives change. Their body relaxes. They only have psychosis when they have pre-tendencies to psychosis. And that's why the psychotic don't touch pot. To be honest, there's not a lot of pot-induced psychosis. There's a lot of people that would love to make charges out of that and accuse people of shit now that it's legal. Lots of those. That, guess what? Canada's full of them. We suck. We suck. Stop celebrating yourself. Canada is full of fucking people that would like to see marijuana be equated with psychosis so that they could just arbitrarily grab the stoned and call it self-harm. You did that. And you fucked with their forms, you gave them electroshock, you put them all sorts of shit that you were paid for. And you're an art. You're a simple, measly art. You don't even take into consideration all the facts. You have no concept of how to take in facts. You're obsessed with yourself because you think you're going to prevent the next serial kill. There's not going to be serial kills in the future. There's not going to be people that are that fucked. Like I said, I'm going to access the babies, all of them, and make sure they get articulate poetry within them. Is that so hard to believe? Doesn't matter if I'm fucking traumatized within an inch of my life. I still dictate my day. I found a way to get myself left alone. These motherfuckers tried to launder an income generator through my personal bank account, thanks to my efforts to contain them. And what occurred was a double imprint was made of it by me when it got there, and they could only get the second one back out, which is beautiful. It's not so beautiful because we don't want them having an income generator too. But it's still beautiful that mine exists. And now that Scotiabank has gone and redone their whole front-facing apparatus, their public-facing apparatus online, I can't see it on my new version, and probably by the end of the year, they're going to be able to reset it. They have to reset a 0% tax rate because I wrote one in. There was a reset behind the COVID. Not only was there a seedy installation of 5G towers, just the same fucking nonsense going through the concert halls, Walmarts, pilfering through the clothes, sharing our snot. Oh, no. Snot's not born. It's airborne. Because then the masks would be a good theory. No, they aren't. They got fucking holes. They got holes. They're not airtight. 100% useless waste of energy. But look at all the jobs it made. Look at the hospital-based GDP. No. Scientific journals, they intend to just do this periodically. Do whatever they do to create their fucking chimera. Oh God, outbreak. Oh God, outbreak. Yeah, I know. Outbreak is synonymous with a vax request, like a terrorist is synonymous with a war right now. You're so predictable. It's so obviously self-serving. You're so obviously deranged and delusional because you're protecting yourself against a world that needs surrender from you. Heart open, project on the third eye, let your reality emerge. You're scared to talk to each other right now. You're only talking to each other about certain things. Like, that is the part that pisses me off the most. It's dictating what you talk about. Very limited. And then AI comes along. AI can't even make a voice to text have a period that makes sense. Put the period in. Intuit the period if you're so damn smart. I'm talking to my friend. That's obviously a sentence. It's complete. You can't deny it. Put a period on it. I don't need to fucking say period or leave a run-on sentence every time I use my messenger. Anyway, I'm going off today. I'm glad too, because it has been this disgusting out there lately. We get a week's free groceries. Go fuck yourselves. And $250, I hope. $15 per person, minimum income, can easily come out of my bank account. What I did was create 8 fields. There was 8 fields, and then I created 8 fields, but I was allowed to label them, put the amounts in, and edit them whenever I want. So they were in their version, which they then stole because I immediately created 8 more fields. The next morning, they were ripped off me, and that amount was sent into an $8 trillion deficit because they literally were so far behind this logical battle that we had. They kept chasing me. Every time they tried to communicate to each other over open platforms, I disrupted the communication, finished it off, sent it back before they could send it through their mechanisms, which was based on a daily digital reset of these bank accounts. What they were doing behind the daily digital reset of the banks was creating new digital identity traps and all this shit. So ultimately, they were creating Moneris and the centralized clouds copy system and AI and all that dirty programming. But like I said, I kept grabbing it and then sending it out, and then they'd reset it that night to each other in the morning because it was bouncing back and forth. Reset here, reset there, reset here, reset there. I would send it back already completed, and they'd have to scramble for the full 24 hours to send something back across before the reset, which I grabbed, finished, because I could read it. Because they were in my computer, I could grab everything that they were working on. It was multidimensional. The internet, you can get any answer you want on. You can tap sources that are not human through the internet. It is multidimensional. And it was simply by my sheer will. I demanded it, that I got to intercept those things. And I found them time and time again. But they came into the back of my computer through an upgrade on Discord that I answered without logging in by finding a hidden link on YouTube. Starting this complete crap. Decades of wasted fucking bullshit for the arbitrary ability to seize. That's all they want. They wanted to jig the economy so they could have the arbitrary ability to 100% profit off free energy, because that's what it is. Water is free energy. You can make it, bud. You can take an oxygen molecule, I bet, guaranteed. Bets. Go out there, Generation Love and Generation Blue, please, and remake a water molecule. I guarantee it. That's why they kept sending propane salespeople or technicians to people's house without invites. They just put the propane smell out, and it's free water. They were trying to convert the whole thing behind the Covoid to a mechanism of free water transfer, and they just keep a labeled gas and propane and all this stuff. They expected, the same as they're doing with the sky burning, to control the entire transportation system so that as these dirty energies went out, they would be subvertively changed to clean energies, and 100% profit margin could be guaranteed. But what you're really dealing with is, this is an outdated system. We can, in the digital economy, create wealth. We can erase debt. We can align on project. Like I said, we've got all these chat mediums. All we need to do is organize what needs to be done. Can you governments just earn your wage for one day and find out what needs to be done? Scrambling over and over again to reinvent the same six wheels. All you do is talk about the same shit. Nothing gets done. Get your little fucking capable, well paid asses out there. Find out what needs to be done. Every corner of the planet. And if I find out those Falun Gong poor fuckers are getting killed again, they're probably, to be honest, they could be. I don't know. To get killed the way they have for 2 decades? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. Why is Canadian government talking about that again? Oh my God. Because they thrive on persecution. They've not done anything about that. They've not protected these people. We should have a human wall around the Falun Gong right now. Human wall. Human wall. Military fucking aided. If these people are persecuting the shit out of these people, human wall. Make the human wall thicker than the military's guns can plow through. Give yourselves up for it. Seriously, demanding people give their lives for protection of national interest. There's no real threat anymore. These last 6 wars, 6, since Gulf Storm, that stupid fucking thing when it finally infiltrated the collective consciousness, was all ploy. These are two-sided wars funded by the same group for this interest that I have discussed here today. They have failed miserably. We are in the dust of it. Thank fuck. I don't care what you say. Every soul coming in and every soul going out will benefit from the fact that I did solve those 75,000 logical equations. And I still got the money in my bank account. All Scotiabank has to do is put an account number on it and let's get creating funds. Like I said, it's just about erasing poverty by putting poverty to work, curing itself, and eventually slowly erasing debt. By maintaining the status quo, there'll be no Armageddon, there'll be no psychological flip out, because these neurotic nuts walk the line of psychological flip out. And the rest of us got to stay on pseudo eggshells, because we don't stay on pseudo eggshells. Some of us have true confidence. We just don't be on the fucking six eggshells. Does that make sense? It's too much. We have compassion. You're fucked. You would implode if your life changed a little bit. Again, this is a progressive, growth-oriented, transcendental species. And your lack of ability to grow, communicate effectively, do anything but regurgitate the party line that is so sick and twisted, so far outdated, so ineffective. I'm just going to give a big hug to those poverty-stricken homeless people that have to endure this place all by themselves out there on the streets. It's an easy problem to solve. Aww. Good for you guys. Good for you for holding down the fort. You're the ancient gypsy clan, alive and well, and living in protest. Don't even get me started on what happened within gypsyism. We were never 2-bit peddlers, I'll tell you that. We held the Ark of the Covenant, and I can tell you others that did. We held it at points. There was a special energy that Jesus Christ birthed into Canada through the Canaanite wedding, and we held it at points in my genetic history. Go fuck yourselves. We don't need Jesus to come back 2,000 years later. That doesn't make any motherfucking sense. God, you would only be creating that. And how would you pull off his same miracles? miracles we don't even know existed. Like I said, the world was gripped with fear when Jesus was walking. He and his friends possessed what I possess, God consciousness. What Sri Chinmoy possessed, what Gurdani possessed. I don't know if he ever got his full God realization, but he was a lot more developed than me. My full God realization came at 44 when I got the fucking full confirmation that it is a frequency based reality and that we can work with frequency to maintain health, to create masterpieces, and to correct the imbalance that has gone on here. Opening the heart, projecting it onto the third eye, aligns a flow and opens up opportunities on earth for progressive participation. I'm not losing sight on my knowledge of that because you need me to. Okay, Denny? I can't believe how fucked you are. Fucked you are. You're so fucked. You are, first of all, you're fucked because you're never going to get through the photon belt alive. What the photon belt is the death process lived out in slow motion. When you go across the threshold of death, all of that junk you have stored in your spiritual, again, dimension gets pitched like you trash it. And if it brings a whole bunch of the rest of you with it, you could end up mangled through that process. But the photon belt is doing the same thing. Again, do we have the desire to prosecute? China, based on Nuremberg? Yes, we do, because it's coerced. Plain and simple fact, Bill Gates, you coerce. You dirty freak. No offense, Bill Gates, but you're a dirty freak. You can't do the whole thing without getting enemies, and you got me. Oh, yes, please, legal execution. Like I said, I've demanded it for others. But yes, please, I allege that is coercion. I don't know. Poor you guys are going and getting sick. Do you know who's really getting the COVID? First of all, any socioeconomic group they feel like targeting, thanks to a PVR based in a socioeconomic output. Reject that kind of science. People are getting the COVID are the non-vaxxed who get tested. Don't get tested if you're not vaxxed, you dumbasses. These are arbitrarily made positive. These test kits, they are made positive arbitrarily. Again, the symptoms are nothing more than the flu. I know they get progressively worse. They can. Depends on what they put into you. Nobody ever said there wasn't 5 streams of vax. These guys are Orwellian. That went so fast. The 5 streams of vax are the apex class, the decision-making class, the worker class, the bread class, and the vegetable class. Yeah, because that's what the hospital system needs. It needs a vegetable class. And that's why it's so hit and miss what happens. And you come across these dirty injections of all sorts of bullshit. Listen, okay, the theory is this. An immune system which recognizes something will be able to fight it off faster. So give enough to recognize, but not to get sick. And it will develop the recognition of it so that it can get over it if it comes in an onslaught. Okay, so put that tiny little thing on a tongue tip and let's swallow the shit. Oh, it can't. It'll go in your stomach and not reach your blood. It's called right here, you dumbasses. This is direct access to the bloodstream. There too. Put it there. It goes to the bloodstream. That's how it works. That is ancient Ayurvedic knowledge. I'm not giving that up for allopathy. I'm not sitting there and take this one activist that was killed. Okay, she got cancer. Her cancer was lethal. She was done in 8 months. You're dying for anyone you can control the end game of. Once they're in that system, they're being dealt with by a bunch of psychopathic, narcissistic, Machiavellian, megalomanian nuts. Jesus, my internet's been buffering lately. for a whole week. I'm taking it off 5G and putting it back on 2G. Anyway, case in point, if you are an activist, you do not expose yourself to these guys because they are killing arbitrarily. I promise. Remember when they said nobody in the 40s are getting it? So then they started selecting people in the 40s to give a positive PVR to. Isolation. 5-day isolation. Remember when the isolation period dropped from 2 weeks to 5 days? They're saying, get used to this. This is your new reality. How perfect for you. 5 weeks, 2 weeks to 5 days, because the businessmen complained that they were losing money on it. And you caved to the pressure of that negotiation. Okay, Nazis, you're still in a negotiation. I still represent the Sri Chinmoy Center of the United Nations. He never kicked me out. No one ever, ever, ever is going to claim he did. And his disciples can't be looked to. They are not they can't be looked to. They are not at that level. No. No. Again, deny me my intimate relationships all you want. But this little stream has almost got to end. And I know it's going to get taken off of YouTube and I'm going to get threatened to lose my access. So it is my dream that some of you can hear this. I hope I didn't say anything about axe injury in my surrendered rant, because I'm a channel and that's a blessed thing. This is coming from a part of the cosmos that very much supports you. Humanity. This is the knowledge of our masters. Diana, spiritual master, very surrendered meditation student. Teresa, spiritual master, very surrendered meditation student. Died on the same weekend, working on the other side to make sure Elizabeth's soul did not get out of Earth to do more damage. And it's going to be the same with Bill Gates, and it's going to be the same with the rest of them. I won't say their names. I can't say their names. I can't say Bill Gates' name. I won't acknowledge that. No, that's something that is illegal. It needs to be taken care of. Illegal. The story that Jane Philpott told me of how they fucking moved through Africa. Just 60,000 people. 60,000 people you jabbed in the arm, did you? Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, malaria's gone. Well, how did malaria get in the water? What did you do to affect the water? Oh, it's a bug bite. Same as Nile virus or whatever it was. Bug bites. No, that's pretty scary. Anyway, a closer look at viral theory. Oh shit, I'm gonna get this whole video fucking yanked. Viral and vax theory came together like birds of a feather. It's not a non-plausible argument to think that one was created to justify the other. All right, there's the fucking 21 Pilots ready again. Oh, now he's giving me a hug. Thank you, Emmy. I love you too. Anyway, I know how change you feel. Ooh, look. Oddfellows. Look, there's a sacred symbol right there. That's a secret sect of people who carried the Ark of the Covenant right there. Oh, yeah, we exist. Oh, yeah, that's why you wanted to do me in. Keep me alive, but do me in. Oh, there he is again. I don't get interrupted when I'm talking to my... Look. two disabled people, all they can do is pull at each other. It's not much of a battle when you're a hook hand. This is the start of the battle that ends it all, okay? We have just clicked swords. I can do a lot with one motherfucking hook when it's got a diamond pointed end like that one. So keep digging at us. Terrorist, you're scrambling. When are you going to admit it? You're way off your targeted plan so far that you can't even meet and gather to make new agreements. You have exploited the United Nations for the last fucking time. Sri Chinmoy sat at the core of the United Nations for 30 years, twice a week, to open the heart of that thing and preserve it. He was the one who held the Christ consciousness for that time. His family, Sri Aurobindo's, they also held the Ark of the Covenant. You can see Solomon and Sheba, Ark of the Covenant was moving through that region. Jonah and Zoe, Ark of the Covenant was moving through Canada. Yes, it was. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Again, you're just a billionaire. I'm a quadrillionaire. Fucking billion. 2 times right now. The whole world could change. We could erase debt entirely if we just spent what I have. But it's an income generator, and it makes more. I represent, I win. You had no choice but to lodge that shit in me. I used 2 copies of everything within my identity to isolate it. That's how it happened, because it was such a threat. It was literally isolating people and annihilating them. Cashing in on cremations. It was hip fraud. Nothing more. Tawdry cult of fucking cops. Of fucking cops. And their EMS services fucking hacks. And then those hacks went private. And then they started showing up at vulnerable people's houses without body cams. Anyway, just another insidious mess I had to wade through at the height of lack of consequence. It's lack of consequence. That's it. That's all. Overt. They hate the fact that they never held the Ark of the Covenant. They hate the fact that they've never figured it out. It's the one cosmic truth they figured out. Consequence don't exist. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Look at what they're doing. And then they just went and chose to create a third-dimensional hospital-based GDP that attacks the pineal. They're after the pineal, just like they were after 2,000 years ago the prostate. Yeah, we get it. I agree. Pornhub is fucking illegal. It's got teen sex and it's got vicious, hardcore sex at that. Don't you think I check in with all those websites? Not for long. I don't get off on it. I just check what they got going. And I'm allowed. I'll do it. I stay close to the porn stars because they have been ravagely beaten. Their pussies have been ravagely mistreated. Poor girls. And for $10,000 or $25,000 or, oh God, in some case millions. Oh God. In some case they had to injure that prick Hugh Hefner. Ugh. Good for you, buddy. You're a fucking egomaniac that needs to rack up women to feel like a man. That's not a natural practice. At the same time as these Nazis are after our sexual impulse. There was an onslaught of media that was full of dirty sex. If that's all you got, I'm staying celibate. I've been in love twice with 2 extremely beautiful men. Women in-betweens. Let's call us in-betweens. Let's call all 3 of us in-betweens. We're going to stick with the in-betweens for this one, just to say, fuck you, psychological diversity, please. And what I mean by that is individuality applied to relevancy. Does that make sense? I hope so. It was really nice talking to you today. I'm going to go answer my phone. I love you loads. Thanks for listening. Please, YouTube, Just leave it alone. I didn't mention the word dementia. I didn't mention autism. Okay. Again, I'll get there. I'll love you pricks in the hospital-based GDP again, but right now, you're against Nuremberg, and I have to violently protest you and make the allegation requiring death. That is a mass murder, and it requires death. All right. Toodaloo.